So we have some massive news coming out here. Maxi Kleber is officially back for the Los Angeles Lakers. This adds a completely different role for this team. This makes the Lakers so much more explosive in my opinion. And I'm going to talk about it and tell you guys exactly how I think this benefits the Lakers. Plus, Austin Reeves is going to miss the third consecutive game. We'll talk about him. There's a video trending on social media with Marcus Smart. And some people are even saying that the Lakers should go out there and potentially save Klay Thompson, which, I'm like 50-50 with, which we will talk about here later on. But let's get right into this, man. Maxi Kleber is officially back. Now, technically, he is listed as questionable by the Los Angeles Lakers, so he might not actually play against the Atlanta Hawks. But usually, when a guy is listed as questionable, it means he is most likely coming back this next game. And if not this very next game, the following game, he's usually back. So I'm pretty confident at this point Kleber will end up playing for the Lakers over the next, 2 to 3 days. And one of the exciting things with the guy like Maxi Kleber is, going back to that Luka Doncic trade, people forget he came over in that trade. And one of the things when the Lakers ultimately made that trade for him was that the Lakers needed a guy that was a big that could potentially play a little bit of defense. They needed a guy that can score some points. And Kleber's not great like creating points, right? He's not the type of guy that's going to dribble and get down in and post someone else. But one of the things Kleber does that the Lakers' other bigs don't really do is this guy shoots really, really, really well from the three-point line. And I think for the Lakers, man, just a whole new unique role gets added when this guy's healthy. Right now, DeAndre Ayton's going to block shots. DeAndre Ayton is also going to score points down into the paint. Jackson Hayes can be a true lob threat and play defense. So he kind of does things similar to DeAndre Ayton, but it's a little bit different because Hayes doesn't really score points on the offensive side. Ayton's a much more of a threat, but again, Hazel's a lot more athletic at this point. And then Kleber, on the other hand, he could play defense. He's not like a super, super, super great shot blocker, but he will defend the rim, and he can switch onto guards and cover guards. But most importantly, this guy can hit threes. And I think for the Lakers, it just adds a whole nother role. In terms of the spacing, just kind of makes things a little bit better for the Lakers. I think Maxi Kleber is a very interesting basketball player, and we'll see what he can provide to the Lakers. There is a chance that we will actually see this guy against the Atlanta Hawks. I'm excited to see if he actually ends up getting inserted into the lineup. If he does play, I don't think he'll play more than like 10 to 12 minutes in that first game. And then we'll just kind of see how he comes back for the Lakers as we go forward. Because this is an exciting time. LeBron James should be back, right? Or at least he's getting close as well. We had a really nice update coming out here regarding where LeBron James kind of is right now. Kobe Price said JJ Redick told us that LeBron James, who obviously did not travel with the Lakers for the 5-game trip, he has done one-on-one with coaches so far, and that the team is progressing from there in light of LeBron being cleared for contact basketball activities. So this is telling us right now that LeBron James obviously has not done any 5-on-5 stuff, which is kind of expected, right? You don't really practice as a basketball team during the season. You don't really get to practice, right? You might get to practice if during the All-Star break. That might be one of those times where you actually get to practice. But generally speaking, you're not really out there practicing. You might have, you might get lucky and get a three-game break. Generally, that's not happening in the NBA nowadays. Usually, at most, you get 2 days off. But LeBron James is cleared, and right now he is mostly doing one-on-one activities. And again, for the Lakers, you really think about some of what we're hearing right now. LeBron James should be back. I think he'll probably be back after that 5-game trip actually ends. I believe they play Utah for the first game back at home, so 6 games from now. And the Lakers will play Utah, and I think they'll have LeBron James at that point. And again, at that point, when LeBron James comes back, there's a good chance Maxi Kleber's already playing. Austin Reeves, and it is unfortunate Austin Reeves will not play against the Hawks. He is with the team, so he could technically come back. He has a soreness kind of going on right now in that groin. And groins are always kind of tricky, but, in 6 games from now, there's a chance the Lakers are fully healthy. And I think it's important for the Lakers to get fully healthy because, truth be told, the Lakers have way too many players, and they got to fine-tune this thing. They got to fine-tune and figure out who's going to be their 7 to 9-man rotation when the playoffs kind of come around, when those key games come around, right? When you have those 7-game series against the Spurs, against OKC, you have to have that lineup you can trust. And you got to have as many different type of roles as you kind of go into those matchups. And the Lakers are missing some pieces right now, right? They don't really have an athletic wing. I think a lot of people want Ado Thero to be that guy. But Thero was he is a rookie. He was a second round pick, and he's coming back from injury. So I don't know at what point we can actually trust him to be that guy. And some people are saying maybe the Lakers should go out there and trade for an Andrew Wiggins type of player. And I wouldn't mind that, but we also have to be realistic. In order to make those type of trades work, of course, the Lakers would love to bring in Andrew Wiggins, but what about the team on the other side of that? Are they ready to move off of Andrew Wiggins? And then at the same time, are they looking to potentially trade that player? And can you make it work as well? And of course, does Andrew Wiggins want to come to the Lakers? Right? It's another question mark. Now, there is a guy that could potentially want to come to the Los Angeles Lakers. A lot of people have been talking about this. Klay Thompson is a guy that apparently Nico Harrison and the Mavericks front office will look to trade. So there's a report coming out. It's no secret that Nico Harrison and the Dallas Mavericks front office will explore what return exists for Klay Thompson before the trade deadline. And this one's interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Klay Thompson's a guy that can score points at will. He's a guy that can create his own shots. He's a phenomenal, phenomenal basketball player. And apparently the Dallas Mavericks might be looking to move off of him. Now, here's the thing. For the first time with the Dallas Mavericks, Klay Thompson basically came off the bench. And although he was okay with it, right, he was interviewed after the game. And he said, he'll do whatever it takes to kind of win. He doesn't have any sort of grudge against the coach. Although he's saying that, I think if you're the Dallas Mavericks, you're 2-6 at this point, you got to try to gain some sort of spark. Maybe the Dallas Mavericks might say, hey, we'll take Gabe Vincent, paired up with Dalton Connect. Maybe we'll take that, and in exchange, we'll be able to potentially trade you Klay Thompson. Now, I don't know exactly all the little details and if the Lakers can actually make it work. Klay Thompson is making about $16.5 million per year, so I think the Lakers can make it work, but you will have to get creative to make sure you can match it. Both teams are over the cap, so you just got to kind of figure it out. If I'm the Lakers, you could definitely use a guy like Klay Thompson, but you also have to be careful because, Jake LaRavia, for example, is a guy, and I'm not saying LaRavia and Klay Thompson are the exact type of players, but like Jake LaRavia is a guy that can score a lot of points for the Lakers. But for him to score, he has to have the minutes, he has to have the confidence. You can't limit this guy, right? And Jake LaRavia can score a lot of points, super, super quickly. And he's super, super young. Klay Thompson, on the other hand, he's not as young, but Klay Thompson also does have experience, winning championships. And I think for the Lakers, at some point, you also have to consider that factor, right? Do you have guys that have won championships? And I know the Lakers do have a couple of guys, but at what point do you say Klay Thompson makes more sense than a guy like Jake LaRavia? Now, I'm not just saying Jake LaRavia, but LaRavia would be one of the key guys that ends up losing minutes. Maybe it's Marcus Smart ends up losing some minutes. And I love Marcus Smart. There was a viral video trending, and Marcus Smart, he did something in this video which is not surprising. If you guys watch basketball, if you guys know how things kind of work, this is a normal part of it, but people were just surprised that he did it as quickly as he's kind of doing it, given he's new to this roster. But check this video out, and then we'll talk about this on the other side.
Trying to make it 5 wins in a row before they head out on the road, where they have not lost a game.
So there you guys have it. All right. Essentially, this moment of the game, there's 5 seconds left before the first half ends, and he's shooting a free throw. So what he's doing is he's basically telling everyone where to line up so that if he makes the free throw, the Spurs cannot just quickly grab the ball, inbound it, and then have a fast break opportunity, right? He's basically telling everybody where to line up in terms of playing defense. And people are surprised that Marcus Smart is already this far ahead, where he's kind of commanding of guys what to kind of do out there. And I'm not saying it's surprising necessarily, right? That's not the right words, because we do have to recognize that Marcus Smart is very, very, very smart. No pun intended. But more than that, the guy is actually a very, very high IQ basketball player, especially on the defensive side. And obviously he talked about it today. He was asked kind of about the defense and the structure and the scheme. And he talked about how the scheme's different. It's something you have to kind of get used to. But at the end of the day, basketball is basketball. At the end of the day, player X has to guard player Y. Player A has to guard player B. At the end of the day, you have to know how to be able to guard guys. And then part of that is also just kind of lining up in the right spots, right? And obviously with Marcus Smart commanding the defense, I'm also not surprised because he's the guy, right? He's the main guy for the Lakers to kind of be the guy to play defense. He's super smart on that side of the basketball. I love this video, man. I really do appreciate it because it just kind of tells you the type of players that the Lakers have at this point. Now, with that being said, let's just go ahead and wrap this video up, man. The Lakers obviously have a 5-game road trip that's coming up. This one's going to be very tough. The first 2 games, I think, are winnable games for sure. I think the Lakers should win these games. You got the Atlanta Hawks, you got the Charlotte Hornets, and then it gets super tough, right? Obviously, you'll have Thunder on Wednesday, and then you'll get a day off before you take on the Pelicans and the Bucks in back-to-back nights. I think all 3 of those games will be tough for the Lakers. If the Lakers can, in this 5-game road trip, somehow win 3 of the 5, I think that's beautiful for the Lakers, and you're in a really good spot. If you can win 4 of the 5, that'd be even better, but that's going to be difficult, right? And I will say this, coming up against the Atlanta Hawks, the Hawks are a really good team. The Atlanta Hawks, they're a very athletic team. They're going to run. They're going to try scoring points. They're one of the best fast break teams. So the Lakers will have to definitely on the defensive side mind like second chance points, quick points is something the Lakers are going to have to match against the Hawks. Now, luckily for the Lakers, Trae Young is out for today's game, so the Hawks will have back-to-back. So that's going to benefit the Lakers a little bit, right? The Hawks are playing, I believe, the Toronto Raptors today, and then the Hawks obviously have the Lakers tomorrow. So Trae Young is out today. I think it's his 4th game that he's missed, but there is a chance he's back tomorrow. So we'll see if he comes back. Trae Young right now is averaging over 17 points per game, so that's a big one, and we know the type of player he is, right? Jalen Johnson's another guy that you're going to have to kind of keep an eye on. He leads the Hawks in points, in rebounds, and assists, minus Trae Young, right? Trae Young's out. So right now he leads the team in those 3 categories, right? At least among the healthy guys. And that doesn't include the first overall pick from the 2024 NBA draft, Zakaria Risache. This team has talent. This team could be a lot better than what their 4-4 record kind of indicates right now. And, just don't sleep on this team. They have Porzingis, another guy that can obviously score points. It's a solid Hawks team. So it's not going to be as easy as, you kind of get into this 5-game road trip. But this is what makes teams great, right? It's these moments right here. It's being able to go on a 5-game road trip and win 3 or 4 of those games. It's being able to have, your 5th, 6th, or 7th player step up when your 2nd or 3rd players are out, right? LeBron and Austin Reeves are both out right now. This road trip, as the Lakers kind of get into it, it's going to be huge. So we'll see what ends up happening, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If this is the first time you're on this channel, do consider subscribing. I appreciate all the support from you guys. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time with another video.